distracted, and I'm trying to be
Welcome to the new sound of online radio. Welcome to the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network.
'Cause you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven.
A mix of today's hits and hard-to-find favorites, combined with the most entertaining and intriguing talk anywhere. This is your sound. This is the sound of Universal Broadcasting Network at UBNradio.com.
Welcome, everybody, to On The Fringe Radio. My name is Antoinette Joe, and I have a co-host today sitting in for Joe Tabanella, and her name is Trish Doolan, and I couldn't be more excited. I have a feeling we're going to talk each other into a frenzy.
I know, right? The first day we met, we were like that.
Oh, my God, many, many years ago. Trish is, tell everybody a little bit about you so everybody knows who's sitting next to me.
Well, a little bit about me is I do a lot of things. I'm an actress, director, writer, producer, part-time estate managers coalition.
We had a great event last night.
We had an event together last night. It was like off the hook.
Do we have a picture of that, Tony?
Oh my God.
We had a great event.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the Estate Managers Coalition.
The Estate Managers Coalition is an organization that, well, we represent the 1%, you know, the multi-millionaire, billionaires, can't mention any names, but they're the key holders and they make all the decisions. So once a month, we get the estate managers and vendors together and they just have a big social networking. It's very exciting, I guess. I called in some crazy energy, and we bring in amazing caterers. And so last night was like off the hook.
We were the caterers last night.
You were the caterers.
Shoo LA were the caterers last night. I think we rocked it.
You rocked it. It was so cute because everybody was like talking to me about you. Trish. And then Brian, you know, who's the president, Brian Peel, he was like, he even called me really late last night, and he goes, that chow chow, oh, and I said, Brian, you keep saying chow chow, and it's shoo shoo.
Everybody calls it shooks or chunks. Nobody knows what it's called.
Yeah, which I like because it's
too,
like
it makes people talk about it, actually. Yeah. And then you were telling me to make a plate for him, and I was like, I don't have to make a plate for him because he's been eating all night long, like from the beginning to the end.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Because he usually doesn't eat. That's the thing.
Yeah.
He usually is like, so, but I think everybody was talking about the food so much that he was like, go grab me something. And because usually he's just like, oh, baby girl, because he's from the South. Baby girl, I'll just eat later.
No, that was a big compliment to see him eating, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is, I don't know whether everybody's been feeling this way, but because we do this show once a week, I can feel that palpable difference from show to show. And over the last week, Joe and I were talking about how our energy level is really changed, and I just feel very, very overwhelmed by other people's energy or the energy of the world. And everybody keeps saying, what's going on? I just feel like there's so many things to do and there's so much going on, and I get rid of one thing and I have to do another, and I know that's kind of obvious because it's modern life, but the weight that it's preyed on my energy, it's just made me very exhausted. And everybody's been complaining about that, so much so that we were surfing the internet. We were surfing to try to figure out whether there were, solar flares or whether there's electromagnetic. I know the poles are shifting. I'm looking for anything because I know, yes, I'm tired. Yes, I don't sleep enough, but this is like hugely different.
It's so interesting. No, it's interesting that you're saying that because I definitely have been feeling the same way. I feel like I'm being pulled in a million directions, and I will finish a task and I'm like, cool. And then I'll get a phone call and it's like, hey, did you get da-da-da-da-da done? And I'm like, oh my God. But what's interesting is that don't you always believe in like timing and all this stuff? Well, I read again I don't know, the millionth time. I was away in Cabo when I read The Alchemist again. And that book just always sets me.
Is that Coelho?
Yes.
What's the first name?
Pablo
Coelho.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just is all these things that lead you to your destiny. And sometimes they seem like detours or setbacks.
Uncomfortable things.
Yeah, and they're like, they weigh heavy on you. In the book, he's like, robbed and loses everything.
Right.
And so I've been trying to keep that in mind. And I picked up a book yesterday just thinking about the same topic you brought up. And it was all what we need to do now because of all the technology and everything is to balance ourselves. So a lot of us are like so overwhelmed, and we don't give ourselves that like 1 hour to go zen out somewhere. And I've been starting to do it again, and it's made me just able to handle the stress better.
Interesting that you're saying that, because the one thing I did pull up on the internet was talking about that technology stimulates one part of the brain, but it overloads the other part. And right now and I see myself doing it, and I'm like, I can't even stop myself because we're so like glued to the phone,
Oh my
glued to the
God.
iPad. My kids are doing it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what about letting information from the ethers come in,
That's
from your
right.
guides come in, not to always be having, and then your phones are now designed to give you certain information and eliminate all other information.
Well, I just think it's too much personally,
Yeah.
and when I went away for the first time ever.
I know you did, and you
I-
actually unplugged because I couldn't reach you, which I
know.
did not like.
No, I know. A lot of people
was
didn't
not
like
good.
it. I turned off my phone and my emails. I didn't even look once, which at first I thought, oh my God, is this going to be hard? Because I was like, out of reach and everything. So I thought I was going to be like a junkie, like,
Yeah. And it wasn't the case?
It wasn't the case. And I completely unplugged. Of course, when I put my phone on, I had like 450.
I can only imagine. And there were things that happened while you were away that were significant
I
and you didn't know.
know.
And I thought, wow,
Very, yeah, but I have to say it wouldn't have made a difference if I knew then or when I got back, and it let my brain, that part of my brain, really realize how much I needed it. So I need to make a point of it. Like, matter of fact, I'm already planning just a weekend getaway where I can just turn off everything, because I feel like if we don't do that as a society, we are addicted to the internet, to the phone, and we're not being present with whoever we're with.
We're not being present with ourselves.
That's true, too.
And therefore not being present with who we're with.
And imagine
That's
you
right.
have kids. So they're in the back on their iPads, their iPhones, and you're
Yeah.
looking at text messages, hopefully not.
Not
but,
while I'm driving.
But what I'm saying
Trish,
is...
not while I'm driving.
I know.
Nicholas, not
yes.
while I'm driving.
I know,
It's
because
my son.
I even get a thing, I'm driving, that automatic message. But instead, we could be talking to the kids in the back, saying, well, how was your day, and make them connect with us, Because no one looks each other in the eye anymore.
Right.
They're like sitting at lunch, let me
I
look
saw
at-
this amazing photograph on the subway, New York subway. It used to be where people were reading papers.
Yeah.
Everybody had a paper, and now everybody's just sitting there like this with their phones. It's really sort of disturbing.
It's actually
And what is more
hypnotizes.
disturbing about it is because, I don't want to be overly paranoid, but I know that the mainstream media is really giving you, 1% of really what's going on in the world, obviously.
Always.
And it's also it's spun in a certain way. So, I often think, well, if I unplug, I will have vast amounts of information that is pure information coming to me rather than what's being designed for me to take in and do
I
something
agree.
with.
I
So,
agree.
yeah.
I don't even have a television right now. I
What
have
happened to the TV I gave you?
sold it at a garage sale. I have a.
I want that
No,
thing.
no, no. We
No,
have
I'm
we
kidding.
have a television, but we'll put Netflix on
Right,
it. We
right.
don't have the worst
Mainstream
thing. Yeah,
media.
I think the worst thing you could do at night is put on the news, and I sleep better if I don't. And I did an interesting exercise. You know how you plug your phone in but you leave it on? Okay, so it's charging. When I turn the power off on my phone, I don't know why, I just sleep better.
What?
I swear on a stack of Bibles. I was raised Catholic. But I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I had such a deep sleep. And then I'll remember turn the phone off. And I don't do it all the time. Sometimes I leave the phone on.
Yeah.
And I'll wake up and it's like flooded with text messages. So, and then, and I put it on and then it's just a different.
You're making me think about a lot of things because I live in a townhouse right now. And since I moved in, I have that ringing in my right ear.
I know.
And since I've been there, it's so much louder. And I'm very conscious of the fact that there's dishes on every single, think about that for
Yee.
1 second.
I don't like that.
I don't like it either. And I know, I'll walk into my house and I'm like, the frequencies in my ears will raise and go. And I know everybody has that on a continual basis, but I have it very strongly. And it's very, very pointed and noted in my right ear. So and I always tell my kids, turn off the phone. Everybody sleeps with it by their bed. It's probably the worst. They said you're not even supposed to sleep with a quartz watch because of the crystal. Can you
No.
imagine what's going on with the phones?
Well, think about it, right? Because you believe in magnets. I've given them to you, and
That's
we've
right.
seen how they take away pain and they balance you. So imagine, okay, magnetic energy, what it does to you. Well, imagine what that energy is doing to us. Like people put it in their breast pocket or on the.
I know. Or
and-
put the phones right up there. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrible
It
for
is
you.
terrible.
And then you see a lot of kids with laptops.
I never
I
put, I never
always
put a
tell
laptop
them,
there.
even if I don't know them, I'll just say, listen, honey, don't do
I
that
do the
because
same
it's
thing.
radiation going right into their
I know.
important parts.
Sometimes I feel like a little bit overbearing when I see
Yeah.
people that I don't know doing the wrong thing, and I go, I'm so sorry, but if I'm, being rude, and I'll tell them information, and they go, no, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Because I just feel like I would like to help anyone.
I know, but you know why you are that way, my darling?
Why?
Because you are not a separatist.
Mm.
You know, there are, you see everybody as part of your family, which is what makes you so incredibly magnetic and loving and powerful. And it's true. I don't mean to get all goofy, but
Aw,
that's why,
thank
because
you.
you'll go up to people and you'll not recognize them as being separate from you.
No,
So
well,
that's
or
really
I'll
lovely.
hear them talking, and I'll say, hey, instead of taking that Advil that's going to kill your kidneys,
You're
and
eavesdrop,
liver,
basically.
I said, yeah, why don't you take some turmeric and drink some celery juice, and that's anti-inflammatory. I can't help myself because I do. I just love the human race, and
Yes.
I believe that everybody has a lot of good in them. We're
Yes.
just weighed down by all this technology.
Yeah. I actually got ridden here on a golf cart. One of the guys who was
Oh.
riding me here on the studio lot, and he was commenting on how many people were sleeping on the street. And
I
he
saw
was
that.
to this morning
I-
quite a lot.
my heart
Is
hurt.
that always
What-
the case?
Yeah.
Getting more so. And he was just saying, well, they can get a job, and he was going off, and I said, you know what? Ain't that easy.
No,
First of
no.
all, it's not that easy to get a job, and I'm not making excuses for them. But also, people have a lot in life. It's a lot. I mean, I have trouble getting through the day, and and I've been given and blessed with a lot of fortune,
Right.
growing up. But some people they're just incapacitated.
Well,
And
I also
might-
think we can never know what it's like to be in someone else's shoes.
Right.
And I always see that no matter, I saw that man wrapped in the blanket by his
Yeah, that's
bike,
what
and
I was
my
talking
heart
about.
hurt, and I just said, I don't know his story, but I just did a quick little sending him light and
Yeah.
love and compassion because, honestly, I used to talk to these people. My dad had a deli across from Grand Central Station, and I used to talk to them all and know them by name. And at night, what was ever left over, we were talking about this earlier, I would bring them coffee and Danish, whatever. We were going to throw it out anyway, bagels, and they just would wait for it, Antoinette. They would be
Yes.
like, Trish, thank you so much. And this one woman, Mary, would tell me that she used to be an actress and tell me her dreams. And I'll never forget this because I was young and I was acting a lot. And I said, Trish, that could be you 20, 30 years later when you were a successful actress and then your dreams fell apart. So we don't know what's around the corner for us. So we have to always be nice to everybody that
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
I do.
It's like,
do.
and on that note, last night I forgot to tell you, everyone was coming around saying to me, so Antoinette's your friend? She seems like a lot of fun. I mean, everybody was
Really?
saying, she's so much fun. And I think people want to hire you, regardless of how great the food is. They really want to work with people who they feel energetically is going to bring their party to another level. And that's what
I
you
agree.
do.
I agree. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for
Seriously.
saying that.
I'd
I
hire
don't.
Shushu.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I actually said last night that to me it's important that whoever I'm working with that I vibe with.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
to me, if we don't get each other, there's no point. It has to be obviously financially viable, but it also has to be something that we can exchange and learn from each other. And that is what comes with wisdom and the wisdom of age. You really get selective as you get older and you start to know yourself more. And when you know yourself, you know what's in front of you, you know what you want. I say now so often when people, present opportunities to me, I really think about it. I say, does this add to my life?
That's what I say.
Yeah, and doesn't that come with, I think it comes with age.
Because otherwise it's not worth
or
it.
wisdom, or wisdom and age, or
Well,
lots
your
of
time
experience.
gets more important. Your windows
Yes.
of time. It's like, is this more important to me than taking care of something I need to take care of
Right,
for me? And,
right.
the thing that was great about last night with you, you were taking this picture. It was so funny. You were taking this picture with all the dessert, and I have to say, because I do so many events, we've never had so much interaction with the people catering, and I think everybody loved it because, a lot of caterers, they don't want to go out and meet people.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, so you were doing these pictures, and everybody was like, who is this girl? She's so much fun. She's your friend. I said, oh my God, forget about it.
How did you like my moonwalk?
Oh yeah,
No,
Brian.
I have a
Brian
good
loved it.
moonwalk
Yeah.
with my heels, but
Yeah,
no, that
you
was
did.
really, really fun. And you know what it is? I love people.
I know.
I really do. I really love people. And I think too that we've been raised to sort of make decisions based on, what the right thing to do is, or I need the money, so I'm going to do, rather than really looking at the situation, who's in front of me, what do I think about this? Does this feel right? Because your instincts will always tell you. They're talking to you all the time.
Yep.
And I think we haven't been raised, I certainly haven't, to acknowledge those feelings, to even really know they're there, to acknowledge them, and then to act on them.
Right.
Because we're fear-based. It's like, I have to pay my rent. I have to, and I get that, of course.
Yeah.
But also there are other ways to do that. And I think it's important to be able to listen to ourselves. And I have to say, being in touch with technology the way I am and have to be, and we all have to be, it gets in the way of that.
Yeah.
That's like my big theme this week, is to try to unplug.
Yeah. It drains.
2 hours a day
you.
is what that article said. 2 hours a day
I agree.
to unplug. And I know somebody in the public eye who has her whole staff, I think it's every 4 hours they unplug for 45 minutes, something like
Beautiful.
that. And
Smart.
they unplug and they nap.
Oh,
This
I
is like
love
a
it.
major corporation.
Naps are
I
great.
know.
Naps
I
are
was
great.
like, I know, and I don't know how to nap because I just, I'm a very mental person, and I'm always like, it's got to stop.
I'll tell you
It's gotta
something
stop.
that I would recommend, because I've
Please.
been doing this exercise.
Valerian?
I've been doing this exercise, and at first it happened as an accident, and then I realized, oh my God, I need to do this. I forgot my phone. And I was out, right? So I'm in the car, and I'm like, I forgot my phone. Oh my God, anxiety attack, panic attack. And I was going to be gone for a few hours. And I said, oh my God, Trish, do you remember when there were no cell phones? You were fine. Actually, you were better. You were booking a lot of jobs. You were making lots of money. And so I stopped. And that moment, something came in, and I said, wow, I need to do this more often. So I started to forget my phone on purpose. and
Consciously
and
or
guess what?
subconsciously?
Like
you actually forgot it?
subconsciously.
Oh, subconsciously, because who would forget? You
yeah,
wouldn't forget it
yeah.
if it wasn't
And then,
subconscious.
but then I would get home and I would realize there was nothing that was on my machine or on my text that I couldn't deal with the 3 hours later.
Is that true? See, I often, I don't feel that way. Like, I feel like I have trained everybody in my life, including my clients. My phone. Wait a minute, hold on, let me see. No,
Yeah.
no, but I've trained everybody
Someone's
in
calling
my life.
in. They're like, you're a liar.
Well, you know what? On that note, what's the number to call in? Because if anybody wants to add to this conversation, oh, thank you, Tony. You can call in at 323-843-2826. That's 323-843-2826. Call in and talk to us.
Yeah.
Because obviously there's a lot of dead space. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of dead space to fill here because we're not talking
And
enough.
we won't judge
We
you
don't
for
have a
being
lot of
addicted to your
ideas.
phone.
But I'm just looking at the time. It's 10:20, so we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with Lisa Machenberg, who is an instructor at HMI. She is a hypnotherapist, a staff hypnotherapist, and she's going to talk to us about why everybody needs to hypnotize their children, and actually why we are already doing that. So stay tuned. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Tune in each week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. following The Bob Show on ubnradio.com. Pure Polino, culinary culture, astrology, and so much more. Pure Polino on ubnradio.com.
Now that you've found UBN Radio and discovered our quality talk shows, it's time to spread the word to friends, family, and the universe. 24 hours of music and talk. Radio without limits. That's why people keep coming back for more. That's ubnradio.com.
You are listening to UBN Radio. Join us for a live radio play event on Saturday, March 29th, when the Will Wallace Acting Company presents UBN's Interweb Playhouse, a reading of Eric Rudnick's Day Trader. Hot on the heels of its world premiere run, Day Trader is a dark comedy the LA Times called undeniably clever. This glossy, entertaining fable of Hollywood hubris should provide rich dividends. Tune in for this exclusive theatrical performance on Saturday, March 29th at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 Eastern, right here on UBN Radio. For more information, go to www.ubnradio.com/playhouse.
Tune in to Dr. Judy, WTF, every Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the UBN Network. hosted by Walt Lusk.
And I'm Dr. Judy, and I invite you to get on the couch, call in, and tell me what the Freud is going on in your world.
We want you to express, not
Repress.
Hello, I'm Ronaldo, your host on Tango Angeles. Join me every other Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific, right here at UBN on Channel 2, as we explore the beauty and the magic that we call tango.
Ready to be back. Wow. I'm very, very excited to bring on our next, our guest. I won't say our main guest for the day. Lisa Machenberg is an instructor at HMI. She's a staff hypnotherapist. She is a hypnotherapist to the stars.
Yes,
and
I am.
We are very excited to have her because you're going to talk today to us about our children.
Yes.
And how we can work with our children. And so talk to us, please.
Well, I'll tell you, the name of my topic is that everybody has to hypnotize their child every single day. And let me tell you why. You already are. Now, let me tell you something about the brand new research. And we didn't know this until we could brain scan. Did you know, Trish, did you know, Antoinette, that your child has almost perfect receptive language as early as 4.5 months? So that time when you say, oh, we can fight in front of the baby, we can smoke marijuana in front of the baby, we can shoot heroin in front of the baby, we can impulse shop in front of the baby, because the baby will never remember or doesn't even know what's going on. That's not true. Although there's no expressive language, there is receptive language.
That scares me.
I believe
It
that.
should. It should scare everybody.
That scares me, actually.
But there's really good news. It is a call to be a very conscious and very present parent. And I'll make you a 100% triple your money back guarantee today. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Your child will never do what you say. But your child will always do what you do. How scary is that?
I believe it. I absolutely believe it.
Yeah.
I always tell people, don't do that in front of the baby. Oh, they don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yes, they do. Can I tell you some ways that people hypnotize their child unwittingly? That's why you have to learn how to do it. So I'll give you a wonderful example of how we teach our children, how we hypnotize our children. Let's say that when we go into the Barnes & Noble just to get a gift card because we're going to a surprise party, and then we see 2 or 3 things that we really, 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 really want, and we just buy them. We're teaching our baby, we're teaching our child how to impulse shop. I'll give you a better one for those who have verbal children. Anybody here have verbal children?
What does that mean exactly?
They talk.
Oh, I have those.
Okay. Yes. So, do you want me to teach you how to hypnotize your child to always buy on credit? Watch this, Antoinette. And studio audience. If your little child, Nana sends your child a $10 bill in the birthday card, and you say, look, Nana sent you a card. I want to go to shopping at the big toy store. I won't mention any names. And you go into the toy store, and your little Johnny and little Sally, they're twins. They each got $10. Sally sees a truck that she wants for $12.50. And Johnny sees a Power Rangers that he wants for $14.99. And you say, all right, children, I'll get that for you, and then you can work it off by doing more chores for mommy. You know what you just did? You taught your kid how to buy on credit. Now, if Sally wants the truck for $12 and you say, no, my sweet and perfect angel, you only have $10 to spend, and Sally pitches a fit, throws her head down on the floor and starts banging her head against the floor in the shopping cart, this is why God made us bigger than 4-year-olds. You pick up little Sally, hold her like this, and you carry her out of the store screaming, and you say, tomorrow, my angel, there's another opportunity to shop and only spend the $10 that Nana sent you.
Wow.
And that's how we teach children how to work
That's
on a
some good
budget.
shit.
No wonder I became a bookie.
Yes, yes.
We have a call.
I'd love to take a call.
Is this for Lisa? Hi.
Hi, who's this?
Hi. Hi, welcome to On the Fringe. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
Oh my goodness, I heard every third syllable there. Whoever you
It's
are.
somebody that's driving.
Yes. In the
Get
car.
out from under the water, come up to the surface, take a deep breath, and ask your question. We lost her
Oh,
too.
maybe they'll come
Try
back.
again.
Would you like to learn some formal hypnosis for your child? I mean, those are just ways that you can teach by example, but I can. Well, here, I'll go through a list and you tell me what you want me to teach right now.
You're like hypnotizing me right now. She has a very, you're reminding me of when I first saw you. I first laid eyes on you and you were doing a session at HMI for the cameras. And,
Yes.
and it was like, I was mesmerized by you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Trish and Antoinette in studio audience, and all the people out there in television and radio land. I can teach everyone something called neuro-linguistic programming, which is how to hypnotize people with neither their knowledge nor their consent. But I want to get back to my topic.
Okay, yes, please.
How would you all like to learn how to do peaceful homework for every child every day
I would like that very much.
with hypnosis and other things?
Yes,
Okay.
bring it on.
All right. You ready?
Ready.
Okay. First of all, any kind of electronic device like TV or video games or computer, unless you're on a word processor, is like giving your child crack cocaine.
We were just talking about that.
Well,
You
this
didn't
is
even
true.
know what we were talking
No,
about.
I was sequestered
That
in the green
is
room.
so funny.
And by the way, I did take a selfie, and everyone can go to my Facebook and see the selfie I took of me in the green
Oh,
room.
great.
Because damn, I look good today. So,
Yes, you do.
You do.
in the nanosecond your child gets home from school, you go to the dining room table or the kitchen table, and we put out yummy, delicious, nutritious snacks. So this is right after you pick up your kid from school, or your kid from soccer practice, or your kid from water polo practice, or chess team. So, and you sit down at the table. There's snacks, everything from carrots to chicken strips to cookies to candy, anything you can pick up with your little pincher fingers. And then you, parents, sit down with, everyone take a deep breath, your checkbook. So while your child is doing his or her paperwork, so are you.
Oh, I thought you meant write them a check for
That's
doing
what
their
I thought,
homework. I
yeah.
thought,
That's-
ooh, I like that kind
You
of.
know
Buy
what?
them, buy them.
We should all get paid for a job
Yeah.
well done.
Yes.
And then here's the hypnosis part. You look at your darling child and you say, as you nod your head, after you're done with each page of homework, my angel, you are going to grade yourself on just one thing, two things. Did you do your personal best? A, B, C, D, or F? And the next one is the most important thing. This is an exalted emotion. Are you proud to turn it in?
That's amazing. I think that's a key word with children, because when they can feel proud of something, they're going to take more personal stock in making sure they do it right.
And I'll tell you, Trish, you're right, because believe it or not, pride is an exalted emotion. And we're looking for not self-esteem. I laugh on your self-esteem. We're looking for self-esteem through mastery. And that's the key.
When you say exalted, tell me what you mean by that.
It means it's one of the emotions that brings you, well, closer to your true self. And we take a look at words. Words are very important. You know, some people like the Dalai Lama. I like the Baal Shem Tov. That's just me. And since I'm a hypnotherapist and I'm a hammer and everything looks like a nail, I think that words are the most important thing that we have in our life, certainly as humankind. And when we watch our words and we see how our words make us feel, then we can really get to our highest purpose and our highest consciousness.
I agree.
That's beautiful.
The 4 agreements, the first one is be impeccable with your word.
Well, that's true. We have this breath. Why would we use it for anything else than to bring unity instead of fragmentation? Would you like some formal hypnosis for a child for either sleeping quickly, calmly, soundly, and deeply all through the night in his or her own bed? Or would you like to learn some hypnosis for academic performance, focus issues, or sports performance? And I'll let you two. This will be a vote. This is a democracy or an oligarchy.
So I'll pick one and you pick one.
Okay.
I would like to pick sleeping better.
In his or her own bed?
Yes.
Yes. Because you know what, again, mommy and daddy's bed is a lot like crack cocaine. It becomes almost an addiction.
I'm happy to say my kids have really never slept in our bed.
Oh boy, amazing.
Yeah. Unusual, right?
Well, my sons are 17, twin sons, which was like giving birth to ping pong balls, just to let you know. And then I was very, very blessed with a daughter 25 months later. So I had 3 under 3, and they would all walk in different directions, no matter where I went. And with twin boys,
That's hilarious.
it's like having one brain and 4 hands. So there's nothing that you cannot childproof anything. Ever.
How did you do that? Did you have a lot of help, or you did it on your own?
No, I did it with deep breathing hypnosis in the Baal Shem Tov.
Oh, right. Then that's
That was
what
the
you're
journey,
about to tell
the
us.
journey
Okay.
began.
Yes. And also, well, that's all discussion, planning to fail, which means that like when you go out in the car and everybody starts kicking each other, or the first sentence when as soon as you start the car is, "Mom, the baby looked at me!" Wow! So you say, you know what? You just pull over, stop the car, go home, unload everybody. No words, no punishment, no consequence. That's it. And then you look at your children the next day and you say, now we have another opportunity to make another choice, and then you'll be able to go to the park.
Okay, so I want to know, is this what you did when you were raising your children?
I only used hypnosis to raise my kids. But I promise to answer your question. So sleeping quickly, calmly, soundly, deeply all through the night. You know who my co-therapist is? Research. So let's learn how to do it, not opinion, but based on research. You have sons, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Sons need to be outside lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. So anytime before dinner, we really need to throw the children outside the back door at any opportunity. All right? So that means after homework. When you finish your homework, then we all go outside. And if you have a trampoline, that really helps. If not, you have 2 feet, you've got to learn how to walk. And we throw the kids outside till they exhaust themselves. Then we have a yummy, delicious, nutritious dinner. And then we have any of our rituals. But the conversation goes like this. You can say, would you like to learn how powerful you are? You say to your children, lay down in bed. This is after all our stories. Feed me one more story. You'll never regret that you read one more story, by the way, ever. Think about it. And you say, would you like to see how powerful you are? Lay in bed, take 3 deep breaths, and concentrate on your eyes. Now close your eyes and use all of your power to relax your eyes really, really the most you can. Now relax your eyes twice as much. Now relax your eyes twice as much. Now if you want to really see how powerful you are, you should
I'm
be,
being
Trish.
hypnotized.
You should be, because, my gosh, I'm allergic to talk show hosts. This is terrible. It's a very unique and specific allergy, and I didn't know I had it till I came on the show. So then you say to your child, relax your eyes so much. Now use all of your power, and the more you try to open your eyes, the harder it becomes. And you will actually see your child with his or her eyes closed going, trying to open the eyes, but the eyes won't open. And this is really empowering because it shows the power of the subconscious mind. And then you can, thank you. I love you. You are my new best friend. I'm sorry, ladies, you've just been replaced by the guy with the tissues.
Thank you, Tony.
And then you say, see that level of relaxation? Bring it all the way down to your toes. And then you can say, let's remember your favorite part of the day. What did it look like? What did it sound like? What did it taste like? What did it smell like? What did it feel like? And you memorize everything about that day, the best part of the day. And you will go from waking to sleeping, and you will sleep. Are you ready for your post-hypnotic suggestion? Are you ready, Trish?
I'm ready, baby.
Are you ready,
I'm so
Antoinette?
ready.
How about you, Tony?
Because you
Over
got to
there?
wake me up now.
Okay. Are you ready for it? Here it is. And you will sleep quickly, calmly, soundly, and deeply all through the night, waking up refreshed, just like you plugged in your iPhone, and it's recharged all night, and it's full of batteries in the morning, and that's you.
Mm-hmm.
That's fabulous.
There you
I
go.
wanna
I'm
have
really
to-
relaxed.
I am very relaxed too.
Hey, really.
Lisa, how do people find you if they want to come for a session, or they do Skype sessions, or
I Skype
give us all
sessions.
of your social networking
Okay,
info?
Well, cool. Well, first of all, I Skype all over the globe, from Tel Aviv to Lebanon to Orlando, Florida. It's true. It's true. I even had one in Fresno.
Oh,
I did. All over the world. All over the world. And everybody is welcome to have a Skype session. Just do it on PayPal. I take rubles. I take pounds.
How do they reach
and
you?
6 goats. You can call me from any place that has goats. And anybody can reach me
Okay.
on my email, if you'd like. And that's Lisa R. Machenberg at me.com. You can also Facebook me. You can also please Instagram me.
you like Instagram?
I
noticed
like
that.
everything. Did you see I have like a gabillion, which is
I
a lot
know.
more than a million.
Right.
People, and I go down and I promise you, if you Instagram me, I will like everything you do.
You do. You're very on it.
I
love
love
that.
it. I check it like 6 times a day.
And you're on Facebook and Twitter?
I'm on Facebook. Twitter, I can't figure out. I'm trying to use
Me
hypnosis to
neither.
concentrate.
It's sad to say, but it's a
Yeah.
little more complicated
It's
for
just
me.
different.
But it's different. But it's
not-
different in a way that I can't really
Yeah.
jive with.
It doesn't even let you write a lot.
No.
You know? What's the point?
And there's really no pictures,
There's
or
no
is there
picture.
pictures?
I
don't
tried
know.
to put a picture and it says, please go to her Instagram account. I thought, you know what? That is
That's
suboptimal.
bullshit.
That's
Twitter's gonna die.
that is.
I'm sorry,
one-
Twitter. But a lot of people are that way. I mean, a
that's-
lot of people tweet, but then there are a lot of people that are like just like us that just don't get it.
That's one more step. I don't want one more step.
Right.
I like my gratification instantly. How about you?
yes.
That's why I'm a
Yeah.
hypnotherapist and not a Freudian psychologist.
Right.
Because I don't want 4 times a week on the couch.
Yeah. I agree with that.
You
do,
years.
right. You
I
do
want
get immediate
instant,
results with-
Instant
Yeah.
gratification.
Yeah.
I feel like that.
Yeah,
I've
you're
done-
afraid to go over bridges? Come in today, go over a bridge on the way home. That's what I like.
I like it. I like it.
So you can get me at Lisa R. Machenberg. Don't forget the R, or just Lisa Machenberg. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. Certainly you can go to HMI College of Hypnotherapy.
So it's Hypnosis Motivation Institute, and that is in Tarzana, California.
Yes, or just HMI.
HMI.
Oh, you could, please, I want everybody on planet Earth and listening to the show to watch all of my web shows on Hypnosis TV.
They're amazing. They
You're-
truly are
you
amazing.
know
They're
what?
entertaining and so amazing. And she hypnotizes you while you're watching.
I do, and the
I'm tuning in.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I'm sitting here going, okay, hypnotize me for my career right now. We'll do that after the show.
yes, and you can even watch the Exalted. There's that word again.
I love that word.
I do too.
It's a good word.
Joe Tabanella. Have you heard of him?
Joe
Oh,
Tabanella.
Joe
Joe Tabanella.
This is how
Tabanella.
I know Lisa. Lisa is a colleague of Joe, my husband's.
I had him on my show twice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
He's
that was my
amazing.
show. Well,
He
yeah.
is amazing.
So the name of the shows are on Hypnosis TV. Go to Hypnosis TV and look for Amazing Mind in Hypnosis Today. And you can see all my outfits because that's the most important part
Oh,
of my show.
absolutely. And she's hypnotized me to make me go shopping with her after this.
Yes.
Did she tell you that? No, she's
yeah.
already set it up. It was really very tricky. I'm on to you.
Well, that's called neuro-linguistic programming. See, that was out your knowledge or consent.
I
But
know.
I nodded my head and I said, we're going to go shopping. And she nodded right back. Pull out your calendar. Good. Pick a day.
And you know that part about pulling out your checkbook for your while your kids are doing? She had me
Yes.
pulling out my checkbook.
We are not paying our children for homework.
I know. But see, that's exactly where my mind went.
But can I tell you something?
Sure.
Over the summer, see, you know what? Subtlety is a virtue, and I'm not that subtle a person, but sometimes I can
No.
bring it on. I got those, I went down and I got those books for your kids to study over the summer, like your kids in 4th grade, you get the 6th grade book. And then randomly, I paper clipped dollar bills all through the book. And then I just left them on the dining room table. And then every once in a while, I'd go and I'd check, and there'd be like 4 pages done, and the dollar would be taken. Now, my children
Wow.
are brilliant, but they're not so brilliant that they didn't figure out how to flip through it and just take all the money. There was a tacit agreement, or there was an inference, and my children are so brilliant, they get the inference that when you do all the pages, you may take the dollar. And they were random. It wasn't like every 5 pages or every 10 pages. It was like sometimes there were 2 in a row, and sometimes you had to go 20 pages.
That's
to
a
get
great way to
another
get
one.
them
I'm so impressed with you on that level, on a different level. Knowing that you hypnotize children, first of all, and that you hypnotize your own children.
I hypnotized myself. Well, first of all,
And to amazing results, obviously, because your children are amazing.
the SAT scores are coming in today, so
Wow.
everybody hold a good intention.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But I used hypnosis to conceive them. They're twins. They're in vitro babies. So I'm going to shout out to technology. Woo, woo,
Yeah.
woo. Okay.
Yeah. See, those are the great things about technology.
That's
yes,
right.
absolutely.
Used hypnosis to carry them. Used hypnosis for joyous labor and childbirth.
Were you
And
laughing
How did
and
that
smiling the
go
whole
for you?
time?
You know what? I was teaching it for 10 years, and then I thought, you know what? Hypnosis is good. Drugs are also good.
Yes.
Yes.
Because it's not an either or.
They have a purpose.
That's right. It's not
Yes.
an either or. It's an and world now.
That's
Sometimes
right.
you got to call in the Marines, I always say. If you don't do them, they really work even better when you do them.
That's
well,
right.
Deepak Chopra said, mind-body connection is strong, but if you have strep, get an antibiotic.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Exactly.
So, Lisa, let me ask you a question. Do you unplug? Because we were talking about unplugging from technology. Do you, because I know you live a fast-paced life and you work all the time, and then you have your family and your husband. So do you unplug? Do you spend an hour a day, without technology?
Antoinette, this is the true, authentic answer, because I could lie, but I choose not to. My work is my bliss. Every single one of my clients for 23 years now, under other circumstances, that person would have been a friend. I love my clients. I love my students. I love my interns. I love my colleagues. And it is my bliss. So one of the joyous things that I do is teach, call my interns, call my clients, return the texts like immediately, like all their stuff on Instagram. There, I said it twice. And because it is my bliss, it is a way that I calm down. That being said, because many times up at HMI College, I teach till 10, I nap every day. I nap for an hour.
We're talking about that too.
Every day.
And what part of the day?
I researched it because why should I nap when I'm tired? I have to research it, make sure it's the right time to nap.
Make sure you're doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. And I have a Cornish Rex cat named Wi-Fi.
This cat is may I say with all due respect, the oddest creature I have ever seen. I walked in our house and I was like, what is that?
No, it's not a bunny.
It wasn't.
It's
It
not
looked like a
dog.
bunny. It didn't look like a cat, but it kind of looked like a cat, but
I
not
want to
really.
see a picture now.
I have
I wish you
later.
I wish
on
you
my
did later.
on my Instagram.
Okay.
That is my hypno cat. It greets my clients at the door. Half the people come for the cat and stay for the hypnosis. Greets them at the door, comes up on their lap and purrs when they're telling me what the source of some of their stressors
Wow.
are. Goes into hypnosis with you. Now, I nap exactly at 1 o'clock because 1 o'clock is the time to nap. And I meditate, I do self-hypnosis, and then I nap. I do 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. And I do it every day with my cat, who knows at 1 o'clock looks at me and says, it's time. 1 o'clock, lay down, it's time for meditation, self-hypnosis, and then a cuddle, and we'll sleep, and then we'll get up feeling
I'm
refreshed.
almost do the same thing as you, and about the same time.
Do you
I
have an
swear-
animal?
Yes, Rodrigo, and he's unbelievable.
Is that a man? Is that your tennis pro? Is
Can
that
I
your
tell you-
aerobics instructor?
No, he's the
Rodrigo
most
looks
amazing
like a
dog.
cat.
Or he's
Yeah.
a dog.
Her
He's a
cat
dog.
looks like a dog.
He's a Chihuahua, and he tells me at 1 o'clock it's time for his treat. He looks at me, he gets me, and we meditate together, and I do self-hypnosis, and pretty much every time I right away afterwards fall into a sleep. And I have a lot of Joes, because, Joe and I work together, and he helped me so much with hypnosis, and he made tapes for me.
Excellent.
And that's around my time.
Elle, it's the best time to do it. And Joe's tapes, I'm sure, are stellar.
Yeah. And you know, the voice, when you hear it's like a calming, peaceful, trusting voice, you know, and you have that too.
Thank you. So can I tell everybody something that everybody can do that works pretty much all the time? Everyone can program him or herself to wake up at a specific time, because I don't use an alarm clock. Even when I need to catch a plane, when I nap, I know it's from 1 to 2, and I always wake up at 1:59. So I'm going to teach everybody out there to, right before bed or nap time, with or without your pets. I need someone who, to send me a picture of meditating with a goldfish. Can someone please send that as soon as possible? Put it on Instagram. So that right before bed, set the intention. I will wake up at 7 o'clock. And do not be surprised when you find that at 6:59, when you open your eyes, the clock says 6:59, because you'll always wake up 1 minute before. And that's a quick self-hypnosis that pretty much all of humankind can use. It's just something that the brain will do.
It's so powerful. It's such a powerful idea. If you can do that and give yourself a suggestion to do that, then you can give yourself a suggestion to do anything.
Yeah.
This is true. Does anyone want to know any other? How about hypnosis for children with any kind of attention issues?
Yes,
Anyone want to
absolutely.
hear that?
Sure.
Yes.
You know, when I hear that this is your talk show.
I don't think I've ever listened as much as today.
Yeah, it's hard to keep Antoinette
I'm
quiet.
so quiet. I think I really kind of
And
just
me.
needed to unload a little bit and just relax, because
Well,
I
if
feel
there's-
very relaxed in your company.
Thank you. If there's anything else you want to know, or did you think that might be of interest?
Well, you know what? My wheels are spinning too, because I'm realizing as people talk, obviously, I'm always sort of checking in on myself. And I don't return texts because it's my bliss. I definitely feel pulled, you know, in many directions, and I'm not doing it from that place. And so that's a big bell going off for me
Oh,
today.
thank you.
So it's important. It's important. I mean, obviously, my children, my husband, the thing, but I return texts right away, and it's constant.
Obligatory.
It's obligatory, and it makes me successful. It's made everything that I've done successful, and people can reach me. But I don't do it with that kind of bliss, and that's important.
May I give you a kind of an interesting
Please.
idea? Whenever you feel agitated, this goes for everybody, all it means is that you're looking through the wrong lens. And the same way that you can use a lens when you go out in Southern California, sunglass, so your eyes are more comfortable, or you can just shift the lens if you want to magnify something. Each and every time you feel agitated, take a deep breath and say, well, maybe I'm looking through this, through the wrong lens or the wrong perspective. And so you switch the lens really quickly and you say, how joyous that people want me. How joyous that I am the one who has the answers. How joyous that I am successful. And this is my proof. And so each and every time you return one, it's with that sense of sheer joy about, again, that exalted emotion of, you remember? Pride. You want another exalted emotion?
Absolutely.
Gratitude.
Yeah. That
And when
you
you-
have the work and that you're there's a need for you.
There's a need for you. You are a vessel of light into this world. Each time you return a text, you're bringing light into this world. You're teaching people. You're opening up doors. You're making it more peaceful. And so put on that lens of gratitude and put on that lens of pride.
You know, it's so funny. I kind of do a lot of things you're talking about without even knowing that you know, there's a rhyme or reason, but a lot of times when I'm feeling like obligatory, like, Jesus, God, I gotta return this, I gotta return that, and then I'll get a thing about my film, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get right to that, and then I go, wow, Trish, you see how you feel when you're doing that? You know, I said, put some of that energy in there, and maybe you'll get a different result, and I try to do that, and even though it's like not the job I want, or it's not and it's sometimes draining, I just act as if, and I'll like when I'm working out, and if I'm in real pain, I start laughing and smiling while I'm working out.
Yes. Oh, that works.
Because also you're giving yourself to whatever it is that you're doing, and isn't that what you're here to do? So
Yes.
yes, you want the movie, but you're doing this, and that is also an avenue.
That's
for
an
you to give.
avenue. Hey, I got a question for your listeners. If anyone wants
If
to call
anybody
in,
wants to call in, please do
So-
call in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask.
323-843-2826.
So-
323 843-2826.
With that
few
lovely
minutes
number,
left.
does anyone want to call up and challenge me and say, how dare you recommend hypnotizing our children? Isn't that manipulative mind control? And I'd be lovely to fill that question.
I don't know if we have those listeners.
Unless
Please call in. I'd love to know you're out there.
yes, would you like to know how to hypnotize your child to have more focus at
Yes.
school?
Yeah.
Easy.
We.
Ready? Well, every child out there knows what it's like to watch a big screen TV and have the ability to mute it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So when your child goes into the classroom, just have your child mute all the distracting sounds all around in the classroom. And then turn up the volume. We all know how to turn up the volume on a big screen TV. Turn up the volume of the teacher. Or turn up the volume of the thoughts in your own mind. Now everyone's been to a movie theater. Dim the lights. So all the distractions are very, very dark, even black. And then turn on a spotlight on your math sheet. Or a spotlight up on the chalkboard. And so by turning down the distractions and turning up the focus, you could do it just like you're in a lovely sound studio over at Universal Broadcasting Network with a soundboard and a really fancy schmancy computer. Your brain is the biggest and best computer in the world. So you turn down the distracting thoughts, images, and sounds, and you turn up the focus, just like on a soundboard.
And I would
Right,
imagine,
Tony?
I would imagine if you tell your kids that you empower them, because then they feel like, oh, I want to try that exercise, because then they feel like they have a magical tool.
Exactly.
You know
And
what I
they
mean?
do.
And kids love that.
My son's having dental work today, and he is the most difficult patient this dentist has ever encountered. And
You
she's
didn't
been
call me?
there. Well, Joe has been working with him as well, but what can I tell him? Joe can't be there today, so what can I tell him to do?
Okay, Antoinette, first of all, Joe can't really handle this, and let me tell you why. What could his father the hypnotherapist,
No.
instructor at HMI College, what could he possibly know? Me, 20 years I've been teaching hypnotherapy. My children look at me, I am the stupidest person they have ever met. They're 17, she's 15. Oh, I'm an idiot. What could I possibly know that my teenagers don't know?
Right, so you have to do it without them knowing that you're doing it.
What you do is you, first of all, for your child, and about, let's say 50 to 60% of humankind can be comfortable in the dentist's office with no chemical anesthesia. And again, it's not either or, it's an and. So what you can do is you can teach your child and say, let's try this at home, because if you can get nervous about being at the dentist when you're here in my living room, if you can turn it on in my living room, you can turn it off at the dentist's office. Kids get that. If you can turn it on, you can turn it off.
Right.
If you can scare yourself watching Saw,
Never watched it.
I can't stand
I
any
don't like
of
those
that.
kind of movies.
I don't like to be shaken up, shooken up. I don't like it in any way.
What's the purpose?
if you can scare yourself sitting in your living room, then you can unscare yourself anyplace. So right there in the living room, if you have a child who's afraid of the dentist, have the child in your living room, picture the dentist, picture the smell, picture the white, the smell of it, picture the white coat, picture those scary looking instruments. And if your kid gets scared in your living room, you say, you can turn it on? You can turn it on. And then you just teach your child about breathing up through the soles of the feet and exhaling through the word calm, right in the middle of the forehead. And when you do that 3 times, because we are human, the way we have evolved, you can turn off the cortisols and the adrenaline. You turn on serotonin, dopamine, and all those yummy, delicious, happy chemicals.
Lisa, you are yummy and delicious.
Why, tell me more.
You really are.
Tony, you've been replaced. Now I like
Thank you so much for coming on to On The Fringe. I greatly appreciate that. This has been really enlightening. And I feel way more relaxed than when the show started. So that's really positive. So just tell us quickly how to reach you, just really, really quickly again, and then we're gonna leave, unfortunately.
Lisa R. Machenberg, hypnotherapist. Lisa R. Machenberg, hypnotherapist on Facebook. Send me a face request. just like all the things, I will confirm you instantly with one click of
You'll
my
feel
finger.
really good.
And it will be my bliss because I love this. And so Lisa R. Machenberg on any social media will get you to me immediately. And also you can find me through HMI College of Hypnotherapy.
Thank you, Lisa.
It's been my pleasure.
And thank
What
you,
a treat.
Trish.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Trish.
coming on and being my co-anchor today.
Let's go shopping.
Yay! Thank you, everybody. Tune in next week at 11 a.m. And please, please, please continue telling me what you guys want to talk about and what you want to hear. And you can reach us on Fringe Talk Radio on Twitter. And we are On The Fringe Radio on Facebook and Instagram On The Fringe Show.
On the Fringe, baby.
On the Fringe.
We'll see you later. Thank you.
Bye-bye.